WWE's women's division has been improving slowly for years. So why team them up? I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. This still works. WrestleMania will be in Tampa as I thought, and I'm still won't be there. Pardon. As you know, I am a big-time Royal Rumble enthusiast. And I think that this year it should be renamed the Pat Patterson Memorial Royal Rumble match, after the guy who made it. And as an enthusiast, I know that the first Royal Rumble event took place in late January 1988. Not on pay-per-view, but on the USA Network as a special event. And that wasn't just the Rumble itself. There was Rick Rude versus Ricky Steamboat, the Young Stallions versus the Islanders, and the Glamour Girls, Judy Martin and Leilani Kai, against the Jumping Bomb Angels, Norio Tateno and Itsuki Yamazaki, for the then WWF Women's Tag Team Championships. Yes. There were women's tag champs long before the pearly white belts came to be about 2 years ago. The first title came to be in 1983 and was only defended at house shows. In fact, the Royal Rumble was the only time the belts were ever seen on television. The title would be discontinued in 1989 when Martin and Kai left the promotion. And it was good that it did, because during the 1990s and 2000s, women's wrestling was still struggling to get a foothold on television and pay-per-views. The women were there for the eye candy, not for their athleticism. Oh, there were some exceptions to prove the rule, like Alundra Blaze, Beth Phoenix, Chyna, and Trish Stratus, who proved a good mix of beauty and talent. But these are few and far between in these dark times. And they were forced into humiliating matches like evening gown, bra and panties, and even mud pit matches because, well, that's what the promoters thought the people wanted to see from their divas. Thank God for the women's revolution. When Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch made their appearance out of NXT and onto what was then known as the main roster of Raw and SmackDown. Since proving that women wrestlers weren't just sex objects, they were placed in higher profile matches, and even matches normally reserved for men at the time. Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage, Last Man Standing, etc. Hell, they even had their own pay-per-view in 2019 with Evolution. So when I heard that Vince was bringing back the Women's Tag Team Championships, I was hoping he was just joking in that Santa outfit. But no. A few weeks later, the belts were revealed to the world, and it was announced that the first champs would be decided in an Elimination Chamber match in February 2018. Sasha Banks and Bayley, back when they were not only friends but faces, won the titles and the belts have been bounced around ever since. Now here's why I was against this, even though apparently many fans weren't. I grew up watching the WWE in a time when the men's tag team champions were always an established team. Very, very rarely did two men just come together, challenge the champs, and actually win it. And even when they did, they didn't hold it for very long. Teams like the Hart Foundation, Demolition, Money Incorporated, the Steiner Brothers, the Smoking Guns, they seemed to only be in individual matches on very rare occasions. And they held the belts with integrity, like a team. Of course, these days, what I feared has come to pass many, many times over. The tag team titles seem to be up for grabs for any two men to take, especially two that just got together to challenge. I still don't like it. And I don't like that the women's tag team titles had gone that same route from the very beginning. I mean, the only actual team to win the titles were the Iconics. And now they don't exist either. All the others are just single competitors who, when they have to, team together to take or defend the titles. And that's especially true of the current champs, Asuka and Flair. I mean, Asuka has a perfectly good Raw Women's title. Why complicate things with a second title? Did Bayley and Banks of 2020 teach her nothing about two-title women in the WWE? And now NXT has gotten into the spirit with the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic starting this Wednesday. Listen, I know NXT seems to have more female talent than it knows what to do with, but that's no reason to have them suddenly team up with each other. I thought that's what the Mae Young Classic was all about, showing off the talent. Does this mean NXT will have women's tag champs as well? Or will the winners finally get a shot at the actual titles for once? Either way, I'm not a fan of teams being thrown together just for the sake of trying to win a title, and that seems to be exactly what's happening in the division these days. Look, I'm glad the women are getting a lot more respect than they once did in the WWE. Alundra's Hall of Fame speech must have been a catalyst to that, along with the Give Divas a Chance hashtag that spread in the mid-2010s. But bringing two women together for a tournament or for a title shot does not a successful tag team make. And yes, bringing them together does seem to be working for people like Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, but they were so dominant as singles competitors, you'd almost hate to see them stuck as a team. Is it so wrong to want tag team champions to be real tag teams? Ones that only fight as a tag team and nothing else? Ones that only go singles after they split up, either amicably or violently? If it is, then I guess I just don't want to be right. Of course, that's just my opinion. I could be dead wrong. And I'm sure some people will tell me why I'm dead wrong in 100 words or more. Some of them with 4-letter words. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlog who always tells it like it is. Stay safe, and I'll see you.